Hey there guys, welcome back to Texas Beer Reviews, and on this episode we will be looking at Adelbert's Hibiscus Saison. This is part of their whimsical series. I guess it's a rotating series of beers that they have. I picked this up in Austin at East First Grocery. I think I've seen this here, but I haven't seen it at my store, or else I haven't seen it, at least I haven't seen it in a bit. So been wanting to try it. Picked up a 4-pack single cans and a couple big bottles for reviews later. Anyway, we're about the beer. It's 5.6% alcohol by volume. Doesn't have anything on IBUs. And the description of the beer here says, "This Saison's pink color inspired us to give a percentage of the proceeds to the Breast Cancer Resource Center. Brewed with hibiscus flowers and dry hopped with Citra, Saison blends a hint of tartness with notes of tropical fruit and citrus." Sounds pretty good. I've had a few different Saisons with the hibiscus before. I didn't really like them pretty much. And Citra is always a nice hop. So, never had this beer before. Haven't had much from Adelbert's. I did a review of their Naked Nun wit beer before. But outside of that, I think this is only the second beer from them I've had. So, and Adelbert's is out of Austin, if I didn't mention that. So, anyway, let's get into it, see what I think. Yeah, so definitely can see the color there. Boom, I'm just gonna go for it all. All right. So, pours out it's a bit brighter there in the camera, but it's this nice kind of dark, it's like a pinkish crimson and like very dark amber sort of hue to it. Definitely from the hibiscus flowers. It's got a nice, very thin white head. It's typical for that kind of style, I would say. Well, I don't know about for all Saisons, to be honest, because you can get ones that are pretty well carbed, have a nice head, but it's kind of what I would expect out of this sort of beer, I would say. But let's go ahead and check out the aroma. So I'm getting that, definitely getting the hibiscus and a nice bit of acidity on it. Still a little bit too cold, I think, but I'm getting that sort of like, you know, had hibiscus teas, that floral. It almost has like it has some certain fruit aspects to it. I don't want to say it's kind of a mix to me of like maybe pomegranate and raspberry. It's got that sort of intense, darker, jammy like kind of thing going for it. It's usually a bit sweeter on teas, but don't really get too much sweetness here. And really, it's kind of the main aroma that I'm getting out of this. Just kind of hibiscus flowers and some slight lemon acidity to it. So let's go ahead and check out the taste. Cheers. Yeah, wow. That is a lot of hibiscus, definitely. Really has that kind of floral, pungent, slight kind of pomegranate, dark raspberry, maybe dark cherry type thing going for it. There is some, lemon acidity to it. I'm getting a malt character too on the background. Kind of comes in as it finishes. Yeah, the hibiscus is huge. Very, very floral and very much that cherry pomegranate type thing going for it. It has, I don't want to say cough syrup, but it has sort of, it's reminding me a bit of notes of sort of like a cherry cough syrup in a sense. It's not as bad, but just that kind of really intense floral, like dark cherry pomegranate like flavors, just kind of reminding me of that. And you can see the head's already faded. Mouthfeel. Carbonation's light. It's a bit more on the kind of medium thin side, I would say. It's very has a crispness to it, but with light carbonation. And that just might be from the Citra hops. I'm not sure if I can really pull out the Citra hops. I mean, there is a bit of bitterness there on the end, not too intense, but just a bit. Let you know it's there. I can't say that I'm picking out things that I get at, Citra hopped IPAs generally have like a big kind of a mango-like character to me. I can't say I'm pulling that out, but I mean, it definitely is. There is a bit of hop bitterness there on the end. But overall, I think it's a pretty interesting beer. Definitely big on the hibiscus aspect. So if you like hibiscus, I would definitely check it out. It's not too acidic. It does have a bit of tartness there to it, but I wouldn't say it's sour. It's a very interesting beer. I would probably prefer a bit more carbonation, and maybe a bit more dryness. And it definitely has some dryness to it, but that kind of intense hibiscus character almost comes, it's a bit of sweetness to it, and then it finishes acidity, or with some acidity to it. But overall, I think it's a solid, pretty unique beer. I think it's definitely worth checking out, at least, especially if you like hibiscus, kind of like fruited. I want to say, I say fruited, but tart beers that have sort of that fruit-like aspect to it. Because this does have those dark fruit notes to it, just from the hibiscus. But anyway, that's what I think about Adelbert's Hibiscus Saison, and I will continue to seek more of their cans out, maybe some big bottles around at some point. So anyway, that's it for this episode. So think global, drink local, and cheers.